All right, so let's get started. So we're gonna have the Korean contenders like finals here, and some of these players are now in Overwatch League, but a lot of them they're underage, so they didn't get like picked up. But on the other hand, I know that Shock are gonna sign some of these players, and like these players, like on talent, like they're also pretty good. Like all the top Korean contenders teams, they are like going to be like pretty hot, like pickups, especially as a lot of teams are looking to rebuild their rosters and like they're going to try to like make a good transition to Overwatch 2. So I don't know. Some teams will prefer like veterans. Other teams will prefer like fresh blood. So let me pause this. So right here we're gonna see the very first round. Talon are gonna run the ball tracer sombra comp, and like O2 are just gonna run like a really heavy like poke comp. Like they're running Mercy to pocket the Echo, and Echo's pretty decent here because like there's a lot of nice high grounds to use, and Echo doesn't really like Echo like really likes this isn't like a high ground map, but Echo really likes maps where there are a lot of neat ledges to play off of, like Anubis, for example. There is a lot of like, little platforms. For example, on first point there's this like thing that is on the left side of the choke. And when you're defending, and like Echo can really use that to like poke and stabilize and land. Like Echo wants to be landing on high ground as much as possible. And like also Hanzo as well, because Hanzo can also use these high grounds very well. Like he can rotate to these high grounds very effectively. Like he can just climb in like 1 second and get like a positional advantage versus like a Zen, for example, or who will like be looking to like primarily. I think the primary Discord target here is during like this phase where you're just like skirmishing for space. Like what like what's gonna be discorded is probably going to be Hanzo, because the reason you want to be discording Hanzo is you don't want Hanzo to just like pick off your backline, obviously, but also like this is just the easiest target to discord, like easiest target to follow up on and try to like nullify the value from. So right here we're gonna see like this initial position. This is pretty standard. We're gonna have like Orisa just like bunker here, and this is good, like standard. Like instead of like going the right side, because like if you go this way, then what Talon can do is they can look to rotate their Brig Zen like this way, and then like you just get pincered from behind by like the Ball Tracer Sombra. Whereas if you're positioning here, that's a bit harder because they have to take this longer rotation, which is a bit more exploitable because it could set someone to like, you know, spam here, and you have time to like just get back to here. In which case, like the rotation is gonna be hard because you're either gonna have to be crossing through this to rotate to like this position, like your Brig Zen, or like you need to go this way, which you know there's an extra distance, so like you can just rotate back. So that's basically going to be the basic strategy of O2. Just gotta like try to rotate away until like they know they can take a fight. They have Diva though, which means that they don't have to like just sit here and poke for a minute. They can absolutely push the tempo if they think that like Talon are like fucking up, or like they have a big advantage to push. So we're gonna see like a proper. He's gonna try to like poke out Heesang. And usually you see like a tracer here. Like usually you don't see like double poke. The reason they're playing double poke is probably because first like tracer probably won't like get too much value out of like going against like tracer Sombra and Zen, and second they want to use the high ground, so like they're gonna run like an Echo instead of like tracer Hanzo. But you still kind of want to like harass, like put pressure. You still want at least one player putting pressure on Talon's DPS and Ball, because like if you just allow them to like eat up all the space, then you're not going to be effective. Like neither is your DPS partner, and you're just gonna be compressed so hard that like your poke comp does not get any value. So you can see we see proper like marking he's saying even, and that's good. That means that like Merit has like a couple more seconds to poke down the enemy. Now that being said, now like Talon are gonna start the engage, but like given that they're engaging, I want to see where their Brig Zen is, because if their Brig Zen isn't like in range, then they're just going to like use some DM, some boost, like what's it called, some like micro missiles, and they're just they can use it more, but like without the Zen or the Brig, they have no sustain, and like they have no way of keeping up this fight. Like even though phase is hacked, which is kind of significant because it means no defense matrix for your BAP, like if you have like no one, like you would want the Zen up there, like to break in more, to discord the BAP, and or like Hanzo if you're going for Hanzo. In this case, Proper is being discorded, but I want to see where the Brig Zen is. If the Brig Zen isn't there, then this engage just won't work. Like normally in this matchup, you would like immediately go for like such an engage. You would like make sure that your Brig Zen has like at least completed a partial rotation before like engaging, so that they are in range to follow up. And like during that phase, you can like have your Ball Tracer Sombra play a bit more defensively, and like just make sure that Hanzo, Echo, Mercy, Pocket can't like just kill your backline. And then afterwards, you transition from that defensive stance to a more offensive stance where you're just trying to like kill the backline. But if they don't do that, then this dive is just going to fail. Okay, so and like you can see, Kellen goes in. There is the follow-up, sure. And he's trying to like boop everyone disrupt, but look, where is the damage? There is none. Like O2 are on high ground, which is good. It means that Brig Zen's gonna have a harder time. And this is like the advantages of like BAP as well. BAP can get up here, and D.Va. But like given that they're going so aggressively, it doesn't look like there's any support, really. Like Brig Zen like can't really contribute to like this high ground, but at least like you can send up a D.Va there, and like you can have D.Va like try like contribute to the damage a bit more and help like peel for the ball. But like there is none. There is like no like there is no follow-up really, except for Tracer probably, but even then Tracer can't really get like a Ball Tracer without any support can't really get kills on their own, unless like O2 are positioned extremely terribly. And right there, they get a kill on Ball. Hey, let me actually see how O2 like can see. O2 are first going to consolidate their gains. That's good. Like they don't have to like they don't have to like push right now. All they have to do is they just have to like clear the angles first. So they just have to clear Tracer, which is good. Like look, good. Like good macro. And they're just playing to consolidate their gains. Like they have point. This comp doesn't really have that much poke. The biggest danger is not like, losing point because they have no main tank. Like the biggest danger is that you leave Tracer or Sombra in the backline, and like they're set up well for the next fight because instead of having to like, stage Tracer Sombra, all they have to do is wait for their main tank and then they get another like go at it. But like in this case, O2 are denying that opportunity, which is good. And generally like in these more like poke oriented comps, you want to be doing this a lot. You want to be like clearing flankers a lot. Not like clearing flankers, but like clearing dangers that are present in your like own territory before like looking to invade the enemy territory. So like eventually they do push their advantage. I would want to see Orisa push up. I would want to see Orisa rotate up to here and like just push this. Like I don't have to, but it would like not only kill them quicker, it would also like farm Bongo as well, but also it's just good to have like it's just like minimizes the risk of like Proper just pushing up aggressively here. So we see At the very least, I do want to see Diva. So let's take a look at this next fight. So right here... Oh, what the fuck is happening? Can't see their ults. So like right here, O2 are actually got positioned pretty damn aggressively. Like right here, I'm not sure where like the BAP is, but Jinbin's like positioning like over here, like positioning like pretty aggressively. Like normally you would position like, you know, like same position as before, just because like you do have the kiting option. But right here, this is like a one or done deal. Like if you don't survive here, then I don't see how you could like get back. Which means that O2, they are like there is an advantage to this position. It's not like this position is bad, because like you are like behind them, you're creating a second angle, but they must be very confident in their ability to win this fight. Or like they're willing to go very aggressive. Maybe because they're fearing like an EMP or something. So we're gonna see like... So like right here... Hey, we're gonna see them... Okay, so like... It's like the backline's like over here, I think. I think BAP's over there. But, But like right here, how does Briggs N contribute to this fight? So like... They wanna like just brawl it out here, sure. Like they just wanna like, you know, go for this ball tracer Sombra type of dive deal, but on the other hand, again, without your backline, your dive cannot succeed. Well, you need at least like a diva here in order to get a kill. Otherwise, like they have like Matrix, they have Immor, they can survive. It's not like this comp will just fall over. Like it's not like they're running like BAP Zen Sigma or something. So like in this comp, you kind of need to like first just like poke them out a bit. Like just use your Zen. Like just put your Zen somewhere where they can at least see like the backline, and like just put Discord. Just like clear the space, poke them out, force out those cooldowns. You can just stabilize with like 1 or 2 break packs. It's fine. And second, you're also going to want to like find a way to like get them off the high ground. Whether it's like, you know, you have like your ball tracer just putting pressure here, and like you can have your like Briggs and Diva just like force point and bully the Orisa. That's probably the way you want to like break this strategy. But like, as you can see, they're perfectly fine. They're perfectly fine just like staying on high ground. Like there's not a lot of pressure here. And like in this comp, you do kind of want to poke phase. Like you don't just want to like go in. Like even though this comp has a lot of poke, you can like absolutely just play for like advantages. You can play to get your backline in a better position. You can play to like, you know, force out Mirren and like bully Finn a bit. Like you don't have to like commit like power drive immediately or blinks or whatever. You can just like, you do have like they don't have like, you know, terribly like, they don't have like a Zen, first of all. Second, like you do have like a Diva. You do have like some sustain in like Diva and Brick. So like you don't have to like rush things. You just need to like, you know, get some initial positions and just like force like Hanzo and BAP, like corral them together a bit. Take a bit of space on point. Just put some pressure so potentially they have to drop. And you can also like try to punish this Orisa for this greedy positioning, and then you just like win the fight from there, because you just need to do your homework first. You just need to like get a good position first. But right here, we have the same problem. How is Zen gonna contribute? Like they're going in, but Briggs Zen's like all the way over there. And like by the time they power drive, Zen hasn't even began to cross the corner. So of course this dive is gonna fail. Alright, next fight. So I hope they're taking like a slower poke phase now. Right, so they're gonna try to like poke them during the rotation. Good. Okay, O2 do have like a lot of ultimates, so I kind of actually I might want to see. Well, there is an EMP, so like the EMP isn't gonna get too much unless like Talon like actually clears some of the angles first, so they don't get punished for inting into it. And also, and like you know, if you don't just corral everyone together, then you're just gonna EMP one or two, and that's not gonna matter that much. Like in the worst case, maybe like Proper just copies Vigilante and or even copy Brig and just give 2 or 3 packs. That could just save someone from an EMP. That being said, it's gonna be a bit risky for them to just go into this. So they copy Sombra. And it's a fat EMP. That's some nice tracking though. Okay, I just want to see, I just want to like watch this fight first. So it's really interesting. So like, Talon look like they're winning. Like eventually, like they are able to push their backline up to a position in which they contribute, and yeah, that's when you do win the fight, if you can get your backline up there. So let's see how O2 could have won this fight. Like we're not gonna like put this fight as a given. Like they did have like quite a lot of ults to work with. Like one option they could have had is they could have like you know tried to like they could have tried to like either play it a bit more back and like just play for like spam, and you know instead of Orisa playing here, you play like back here and like you know use these ultimates. Like you would mainly use these ultimates to attack the rotation. But if you're standing back here, it's really hard to actually get a good EMP off. Because, like, even if you EMP and, like, hit 3 or 4, then how's your backline gonna rotate in? That's the key problem we've been harping on, like, all game. But like, you know, if they sit back here, then they could definitely get value out of these ults. It's not like they have to, like, int into, like, the team. Like, another option is they could have Junbin just, like, try to, like, push this really hard, and they could set up, like, angles and try to, like, get a surprise pick using, Dupe, Dragon. There is a trans, though. But, like, potentially they could like finish it off with an EMP, like you know, a Diva Bomb, and like this would surprise Talon a lot. Like you don't expect this comp to just run at you, so like this might startle them, but like I do prefer like if O2 just sit back here and like they just try to punish their rotation as much as possible. But as you can see, they do. As you can see, Proper's trying to actually copy. And they're using other ults, which is good. Because you want to like take advantage of them before like they're able to EMP. I can't see the positioning that well. But so now it looks a bit holy shit, this glitch. So now it looks a bit inconclusive, but you can see Junbin dies. Yeah, that's like the disadvantage of this positioning. Especially like if you can't take the fight up there. If you're positioning here, then like you're basically committing to like fighting on this half of the point. So they kill Orisa, but while they're killing Orisa, like they aren't taking too much advantage of like their where's the backline? Why aren't they under like too much pressure right now? Like they have Diva. Where's like Brig Zen? Is Brig Zen rotating this way? Hey, where the fuck is their Brig Zen? That's what I'm interested in. Like I think their Brig Zen's around here. But like while like Junbin was being like bum rushed by like multiple target, well, it was only Tracer, but I also see Sombra there. But like they could have potentially like had D.Va just like into like wherever the Briggs End is, and like Hanzo, they could, well, like Proper is on Sombra, but they could be putting definitely like you can see Zed almost died. Like they could just be putting a tad more pressure while like the rest of Talon were unable to like were like all focused on the Orisa. And like they could have got away with it, probably. So like overall, they committed into like a bad fight like on Talon's half the point, and second, they just didn't put enough pressure on O2 while like Junbin was under a lot of pressure. So now they're gonna go ball. And like now O2's job, like I mean Junbin's job is to, well they're gonna have the good high ground advantage here, but basically just mark Kellen. Just put pressure on the flankers as much as possible. So actually, we do see Zen being pressured a bit, which is good. I mean Sombra, sorry. And so now they're like a 6v5. I think they can start to like push this, especially as Talon don't really have other ults to respond. And like now Kellen, like they go for like an engage, doesn't work. Where's their Brig Zen? I mean actually it does work. Let's take, maybe I saw this wrong. I did, my bad. But you can see now though, like their Brig Zen's like over there, and like they're actually contributing to this fight. As you can see, even though Ball Tracer wasn't able to like get a good like engage in the end. Like it was decent, but it wasn't enough. But like Brig Zen is just what finishes it. Like the benefit of this comp is it not only like helps protect the Zen by like marking flankers and controlling the map, it also allows your Zen to push up and carry. So how could O2 like change the outcome of this fight? Again, we're interested in counterfactuals here. So right here, knowing that the Brig Zen's here, I probably wouldn't play like push this way. Even if you have a ball, you can't brawl into this. Like you're running BAP Mercy. So what O2 should have done here, probably just push this way. Set up their like BAP over here, and then like just try to like play like the poke game. And you can force point, and this would force like someone to push on a point, and then like you can try to poke them. And without these ultimates, it isn't a given that they can just like retake the space. So like you know, if you're positioning here and like their Brig Zen's like over here, then they have to rotate like this way to try to like where like you can poke them out a bit, or they have to rotate this way, which is a bit safer to an extent, but on the other hand, you can just like flip the map again and like play over here. Or like if they rotate this way, you could even like flip to over here. And like how Talon would probably like take this fight is they could look for like a fake rotation. They could look to rotate their Brig Zen this way, which would like get them to maybe rotate like over here. And they don't really have ults to sustain that. So like sustain their position here. But like they could just Uno reverse card and rotate this way. But like the thing is, that's the advantage of ball. You can see this rotation a bit better. And like you could call it out, and then you could just like counter rotate. And also like another thing, I'm not sure why O2 are playing here. Like another reason is because they have window. How is this window gonna get too much value? Because like you're just gonna get Powell Drove and like they're just gonna push through the window, literally. Or it's not gonna matter, because it's so close. Imagine if it's positioned on the other side of point. So like, this is a macro mistake. So now they're transitioning their... now like they're transitioning their comp to So like ball comp, like ball comp, so to speak. Except they're running the echo here. So now we're gonna want to see like the defensive play from like Junbin and Merit. Like the goal of this comp is just to like let proper carry. So we have Heesang on an angle. Ideally, you want to clear him. So right here, Talon, they do have their 74 to EMP. They almost have Minefield, but they do have an alt advantage in general. So they could play slow here, try to like stall, even use like trance, try to play from EMP. Probably that would be the best option. Or they could try like take a tempo engage and try to like blow up Finn. But like we're gonna have to see what their plan is here. So it looks like they're going towards the blow up Finn strategy. And like, to have ball chaser set up, but we need to know where's their Brig Zen. I've asked this all the time. Where's their Brig Zen playing? Over there. No. No, if you want to like take the fight like over here, then you put your backline main and like you can Discord. You put your Brig Zen over here. You have a Brig, you have a Diva. You can absolutely just put in this aggressive position, even though they have ball tracing. As long as you're like able to trade off any pressure that they put, then you're fine. But like they just wasted like this ball tracer, like cooldowns, and they go for a second engage instead of like stabilizing. Like this comp is poke, but it's nothing that you can't deal with, especially with trans. Like you're not given an opportunity to use your trans. If proper like goes in like tries to stick you, then you just trans, no big deal. But they could try like set up their EMP and then they could just rotate their backline this way, or like wait until like their backline has to push like over here, or like even if your Brig Zen's over here, you can like absolutely contribute to this fight, like over here, and then you just slam EMP, boom, they're dead. They have no ultimates, but they're rushing this fight when they don't have to. See, that's just a feed. They do get the EMP, sure, but it gets proper, which might be enough. But could have been so much better. Now, like, I know O2 had an ultimate... No, this glitch. Now I know that O2 had an ult disadvantage, but... Let's see what they did wrong here. So we see proper. No, they have EMP and also, they have trans. So this isn't gonna like you can force out trans, but it's not worth you dying here. So honestly, all proper has to do, given that Talon are playing like so dumb, is they literally all he has to do is just go main with Mercy and just like pummel this direction. Especially as like, they're going aggressive, but like they're not like committing to it. So like, they're playing like a poke like game, but like, they're just brawling. So like, you have like a lot of space then. Like when Ball Tracer goes in, they give up like some space you can push into. So like you can just like let me draw it better. Like you have Ball, you have Tracer. This is how much space they're giving up. This is space you can use. Poke, 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 boom. You get your ult. They do their dumb shit engage. Boom. You just like punish it with your own engage, and you have a good staging angle as well. But O2 should not have lost this fight, honestly. Talon were playing like such idiots, but they didn't have to use like why did they use Evil Bomb? But they did. Okay, let me see. They didn't have to. But there was no way that O2, like not no way, like obviously O2 had an ult disadvantage, but there's no way like Talon should be allowed to fuck up like this. So over here, Talon, they use like a lot of their ults. They are at an ult disadvantage, but I'm not sure if they would gain anything from playing slow here. Like, given that they have to touch point. Hey, let me see. So like over here, backline's like on high ground. Now, given that the backline's like only on high ground, then one way to bait them push like to here potentially is just to like, you know, play the mark game, like just mark ball tracer a bit. And like this would force them to get into position. As you can see, they're kind of doing it. But like if you poke ball tracer a bit, then like eventually you want to use this position to push into them. Like you don't want to like just mark ball tracer forever, because that would give like Echo a lot of free poke damage. But all you want to do is you want to bait them onto point. Then once you do bait them onto point, you can just do your power drive shenanigans. Ideally, you would just only commit. You would commit like you know, Tracer Somber to it, and then you have ball like set up somewhere a bit more aggressive. Or maybe you do the opposite. Actually, let me think about it. Actually, maybe you're just gonna have ball like mark, and then like you have more mobility, and then like you could have like Somber place Translocator somewhere here, and I'm not explaining it well, but like in this case, probably like, let me explain it. I would have ball like try like put some pressure here first, and then like just have Somber place an aggressive Translocator if possible, and like you can have Tracer like somewhere around here-ish, or yeah, and like, you know, after you force them to like go on the point, you just like turn back and you just rotate this way, and then you just catch their backline over here, or like they try to like push this way, which is dumb, obviously. Oh, did he? So their backline's pushing into them. Why? I don't have trans, but it's not like they have rally. Like, this is like you have a break and you have rally type of thing. You push into them. But like, you know. No, like now they're forced to drop on the point to support Junbin, which is good. Like, at least they're putting pressure on Junbin, but this is not the solution. The solution is to like push here. Maybe you can, you know, copy Brig even. Well, I wouldn't copy Brig. That one just wouldn't be enough damage. But like if you copy Brig, you could potentially just like rally trans, like can rally your Zen into here, but on the other hand, you just have Ball Tracer, so you might not even win the trade, especially as they have a trans of their own. You probably just want to like copy, like you could do like what would I copy here? Something, ideally something that has like a good ult, but also like can actually do damage. There are probably just D.Va, because D.Va, like you can also like help your backline rotate into them, but D.Va Bomb is gonna be pretty effective in this like point like scuttle. And they copy D.Va, but you know, they just push into them. And look, it's just an easy, like, they just, is there, they didn't even have to like pincer from the other side. Like, I'm not sure where like Kellen is playing, whether he's marking ball or whatever. Where's he saying? Oh, I see like a recall. Like there was no talent players over here, which is not ideal. But on the other hand, this is a, you have the Brig Zen versus Mercy Zen in like a straight on battle. This is just gonna win, unless you have something to punish it. No supports. This should be talent. That being said, Vigilante dies. And their backline just gets traded. Like, I'm not sure how like their backline also dies. Okay, now they can just like literally just sit back, poke, consolidate their games. Probably just like just stabilize a bit. So pushing. Well, there is the pincer, so sure. Like they're going for a backline trade here, and they should win it. I'm fine with this play. But they're actually in a stadium. But like right here, we're gonna see like the Ball Tracer Sombra versus like the Ball Tracer Ash with the Mercy Pocket. So Jinbin's just and Jinbin and Proper, they just want to play to mark their counterpart game. Just make space for Merit to maneuver and like meanwhile, Talon are just gonna want to like find a way to rotate their Brig Zen close to like O2 Blast's backline. And then they want to start brawling. Okay, so he's saying dies. Not sure why. So it's hard to see what O2 are doing. It looks like they're playing the Mark game, which is good. And the kill he's saying, this should be a win for O2. And look at the ult charge there. I'm not sure what Proper was doing, but whatever it is, he's doing the right thing. So like they're trying to break in. Do you want to see an attempt at a pincer? Okay, so now they're pushing in. Like normally, like right here as well. Like also, another thing is that like you could wait for your Ball Tracer to take, if they're not doing a good job marking. Like right here, O2 are kind of doing it, but like ideally, you do want your Tracer like, okay, your Tracer's over here. I mean, it's just gonna be hard to like stage when they're up here. Like another thing you could do is you could just, you know, play a bit slow and then just try to like take the point fight. In which case like Ash does have to drop to contribute to it. But you will get surrounded if you just put everyone on point, so it's gonna be tough. As you can see, good defensive game. Eventually O2, they do get the point flip. It's hard to see without the replay here, but like what's happening. And Kellen decides to go for one last hurrah, but good peel. And O2, they do take this point. So now, like, the point's unlocked, they're gonna take advantage of it. They're gonna try to, like, push on the point and force, like, try to force, like, Mirror to drop. On the other hand, like, as I said, if you're all on point, you're just gonna be surrounded. And there's still, like, a bit of high ground. Like, Mirror doesn't have to, like, get on point. He can absolutely just, like, go to, like, another high ground. Okay, so right here, you see what happens. So they're trying to, like, they get Baby Diva. So, like, Baby Diva gets staggered. Probably just reset. It's extremely tough to win a fight without your Diva. If you're, like, not defending. Okay, but on the other hand, somehow Heesang gets behind. So, Okay, let's see what Proper is doing. He's trying to mark Sombra. Okay, where like Diva needs to be well. Ball's already on point, so O2 should win this still because they did start the fight without Diva. I mean, now Diva's back, but it's too late, yeah. So, let's see what, like, both sides did wrong. It's like, over here, we see Proper trying to mark his counterpart, which is good. Jinbin's coming back. Now, Talon are just trying to, like, force the point. And this would force their Briggs End to drop, if they're not already in low ground. But you can see, like, without the Diva, O2 can just, like, literally, like, roll into this. And they get a kill. Potentially even 2. So good aggression there. For, like, good pushing that and that advantage. Okay, now they get a kill. All they have to do now is try to consolidate their gains. So, like, right here, like, Talon are putting, like, point pressure. Where's Jinbin, though? Jinbin's back here taking a health pack. Like, this is when they kind of have to stabilize. How much HP does FaZe lose while Jinbin's taking a health pack? Well, not a lot. Probably wouldn't like face tank that much, but whatever. So now, time to consolidate games, especially when you're running like a poke comp. Well, but he's saying they leave a trace in the backline. I already have ball on point, so Diva could just try to peel back. Why can't Diva just come back? Like right now, like full HP. Just leave ball on point. They have no Diva, so like, it's not like they can just enforce the space. So like, they get the, but on the other hand, O2, right now it looks really dicey for them actually. But how do O2 win this? Oh, that boop though. So that was big. That could have changed the fight. Without Zen, like especially as they can also get the trans, like the fact that Talons' backline wasn't able to push up and deny to res, that was big. Like maybe like Diva not peeling back might be in the right decision. Because they knew they could just have rezzed that because FaZe is holding the point space. And without the Zen, but on the other hand, let's take a look. They have Briggs Zen ults. O2 weren't able to like decisively. Yeah, which means Talon just gets the flip now. So like, I wish I had the replay for this, but yeah, let's go over this fight again. This is the most interesting fight we've seen so far. So like over here we see, like we see Chorang almost die here. They kill Baby Diva. You can't really like hold like, can't really like, you know, take advantage of like the distraction and try like they can't really force the point as well. So like right here, all Proper has to do is like kind of stabilize a bit, and you know, you can have like Ball try to like touch point a bit, but like you don't have a diva, so like you can just try to like pummel their rotation as hard as fuck. And so like your backline isn't really under danger unless like you don't mark, like you don't put pressure on the flankers. So we see Junbin trying to take a health pack. Proper marking Sombra, which is I'm fine with it, but ideally like they do want to know where Heesang is. Where's Heesang though? Like Heesang did get a really good high ground position. But I mean, good from Heesang. Let's just say that. But on the other hand, like they should definitely just try to peel this off. Especially with like so many resources. I'm not sure if FaZe committed boosters, but no reason for FaZe to, well, they have to contest point, but once like Junbin like starts like being able to like go on point, then FaZe just goes back and peels. But they do get res, it's a 6v5, but right here they definitely have to stabilize. They can't fight. They have to. No ultimates. Like no sustain ultimates. And now they're forcing the point, they're forcing the tempo. Okay, FaZe dies. Like it's Baby Diva. And they feel that they're forced to like take the fight on point. Hey, where's like Kellen and Heesang? Like it's good that Kellen had a lot of ults to play with, but do they have to? Did they? I mean, like they could have just like played a bit slower. They had Bob. They could just have Bob contest instead of like you know, just like kamikazing on the point. And like while Bob's contesting, like sure they could try like burn Bob, but it would normally just be Diva burning Bob, and then like you could just Discord Diva and try like you know, poke it with your mash. But they had Bob, but they just played way too fast. They didn't like. You might argue they had to match the tempo here, but they could have just even gave up point, honestly. Well, not give up point. Well, do they have to give a point? Like they mine, and their backlines over here. They could just have like Ball like try to passively. What HP does Junbin have? 600. Sorry for like going over the micro so much, but FaZe is Baby Diva. But... And I guess Junbin had to like break the mines, but Proper shouldn't die. Go for a pulse bomb. The fact that Junbin and FaZe dies, that's just the end of this fight. Like FaZe kind of fucked up this fight. So now Talon have Heesang as EMP. I mean Ado as EMP. I just play like a bit slow. Just try to play like a bit more defensive, slow down the fight. That being said, what the fuck? Point's not under danger yet. And like if they want to take the fight over here, then Briggs Zen, Like, Briggs can contribute. But, like, can't they just wait until, like, they're forced to, like, rotate the point? Like, they have defensive ults. They could just take this, like, slow. They don't have to, like, immediately just try, like, tempo this, like, just like last round. They have EMP, but they have no main tank to push it. And they don't get an opportunity to use it. Like, where is their Sombra as well? Like, what? Like, you don't have to. They'll have, like, so much poke that you have to, like, feed. And it's not like you're, like, that brawly as well. Like, you have Ball Tracer Sombra, but your Briggson's, like, down there, and you're not running, like, the Winston comp. You don't feed like that. Like, you just set up a good EMP, you have, like, trans to fall off on, you just win. So this is a really, 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 really bad fuck-up. Where if they were looking for a pulse bomb, then just wait until they have EMP, and then they can just pulse bomb that. But this is really bad. It's a horrible gaff. Okay, so now Talon still have the ult advantage, but they should not have lost that last fight. That last fight should have been given like how much resources they have to work with. So now we're gonna see. Holy shit. That was great. That EMP cancel though. That was amazing. Hi. Alright. So now we see O2 to try to attack the rotation. It's a bit early slam, but whatever. Now, I'm not sure why they were trying to EMP like right now. Like, you have sustain. You can just like set up a good EMP. And this comp doesn't really have that much poke or that much like tempo options. But you have to like EMP like just to make space. So their EMP does get cancelled, of course. Really good slam. And Briggs then just dies. Now that being said, where's Kellen? Why weren't they able to trade this? Like, that was just free. That was just free. And like, Kellen's trying to force the point. But like, overall, they don't really have to care about point. I mean, like, they are 99, but... So that's probably why, but... Still, point pressure isn't gonna win this fight. Maybe Briggs then just waits until they actually have players sent back like this. Like, they can just deal with Briggs then and then just deal with, like, the point, where's touching point later. And also, like, the EMP would be, like, pretty good. Maybe pretty good, like, a bit closer. You could, like, EMP, like, a bit closer to your backline, try to punish Proper and Jinbin, and then you could just push into them. You don't have to, like, go for a backline EMP necessarily. Especially when you don't have the means to do it. Or like, if you don't want to do that, like, that's going to be a bit lower value, then you can just wait until they have to drop the point, and then you use the EMP then. But good attacking of rotation from O2, but we see Talon just fuck this up a lot. Alright. So this is going to be pretty interesting. So we're gonna see both sides say running Ball Tracer Sombra Mirror. Now Merrick does Now, I'm not sure why Sombra has placed their Translocator so passive on this map. Wait, let me see where it was. Was it too passive? It was next to a health pack. They could have placed it a bit closer. Oh, that's probably why. But like, as long as you're putting it in a place where like your diva can kind of like harass them before doing it, that's fine. So Jinbin just goes and then destroys Translocator. Let's see what Kellen's doing. Like, Merit gets Translocator Force out. Could potentially get pushed into this. Like, Kellen could just end. They're down Sombra and like Ball's like trying to destroy Translocator. It's not like you can trade the aggression. It's a 6v4. Can out-tempo them. So right here, O2. Okay, let's see what Proper is doing. Proper is trying to like mark Heesang, which is good. It slows down things, gives time for your thing, for your like, or your Bull to come back, and your Sombra as well. That being said, where's their Brigzen? Where's Talons' Brigzen? They should be like inting into the fight right now if they want. Like, they should just be rotating this way. They want to take the fight. Hey, I don't know where the Brigzen is, but let me actually see. Where the Discord? Proper, and there we go. This is just a counter engage. Boom. Easy. So see, Heesang should not be like trying to take that battle. Heesang should be pincering. Alright, so O2, they take the point. Merit dies somehow. Where's Merit poking from? Over there. Do we see the good Brigzen LOS? Do we see like, did FaZe just like line up on the DM a bit and Merit was in the open? Because that isn't a good cover. That isn't a good cover. So now Proper's playing the Mark game. They ideally want to like build trans and then like slow this down, so this is good. And like that would buy enough time for Merit to potentially come back. So it does, FaZe does die though. They have EMP as well. And Talon win this pretty easily. So like, you know, let's see what O2 did wrong here. So they lost Merit. It isn't lost yet. You still have point, you can still like stall things a bit. It's fine. Don't panic. It's fine. Okay. So we have, you know, a bit of a supportal advantage here. So, like, Proper's trying to mark Heesang, which is good. It delays their Sombra a bit. Did Proper really have to give up position? Well, there is going to be Tracer Sombra, so... But is this, like, you don't have to give that much ground? You do have Blinks, so... Probably Blink this way. You can still receive Brigzen, like, support. But like, if they have this the angle, then they could push their Tracer Sombra this way. Ball goes this way probably, and then it's just an easy pincer. Or like the other way around then. And see, we see the pincer here. But doesn't get a kill. Now, why is FaZe taking so much damage? I mean, you do have to farm your support ult, but you already have trans. But oh, exactly. Ball slams, Sombra just goes this way and like farms him. Someone needs to mark this angle. That's why Proper should not have gave up that much space. And right now, they support ult. Like at this point, you lose D.Va, you're just gonna win the backline trade, so your best chance is probably just to like, instead of inting like this, you just try to let live, and you just try to like farm rally, and then that should get you potentially to an EMP. But if they just want to reset this fight, if they just want to like int and like give all their chips and set for the next fight, I'm fine with that. This fight was hard to win. So right now, Talon, like they know they have like EMP. O2 could position to punish like tempo engage. So that being said, oh no. So Chorong dies. I mean, like, honestly, like, I think Talon should just actually just try to like attack this rotation. Like, sure, they're holding quite high though, so, and like you're just gonna get point forced. But if they're up here, they should be like looking for an engage of somehow. Like you could have Zen stay on high ground, Brig just drop in, try to like brawl, and like you can have your D.Va try to like jockey around, like healing and pressuring, and then like when if they decide to EMP and punish it, you can just drop with a trans. That's fine. And like, but in any case, they're rotating. You can get a kill or two, definitely, especially with Minefield. But they kill like Brig for how does Brig? Oh, it's a Minefield. So Talon, so like O2 are actually allowed to like get the first engage, and like aggression isn't traded well. So like sure, looks like Talon's looking to engage. It's a backline trade, and it does get merit. So probably it's not that traded. It's not traded that badly, and it does cancel the EMP. But O2... Should I really be greedy with rally? I think... So like now, as it stands, no Brig, no Sombra. Which one would I value more? Like, Talon of no Sombra has trans, but you also lose EMP, so probably like favor Talon a bit more. You have rally though. You get to pop the rally. That being said, after the backline trade, they should definitely just try to stabilize. Like sure, Talon have poke advantage with like no Sombra, but without a break, it's not easy for them to force anything. Like, you're gonna rotate, but you can absolutely just try to, like, harass the rotation and slow things down. So, O2 should just play slow. And they might just be playing for the long game, just waiting for Merit to come back while holding the space, but... Right here, they're trying to engage with half HP. Where's their Brig Zen? Their Brig Zen isn't exactly in a great position. Maybe wait a couple seconds for Brig Zen to rotate over here. Clear the space a bit, and then you can just engage.
직결을 누른 싸움이었음에도 불구하고 메리트가 터져가지고 본인들이 들어갈 각을 못 잡아서 이러면 초롱 선수가 그냥 세이브가 됐어요, 궁이. 자, 이러면 네. 계속 유지할 수가 있습니다. 완전히요. 이건 오히려 초롱이 죽어서 더 좋아.
Alright.
이런 상황이 되면서 집결 가지고
So now they're gonna like look Talon. They're gonna look to attack the rotation again. Good. Merit does kill Kane though. Do they really get a lot for this rotation attack? They could just punish it with an EMP. But if they get a clean pulse bomb, I could see them winning. So it's Talon's just... Why aren't they pulse bombing rally into this? That's like your one chance to win.
근데 EMP 누르는 거에 초롱 선수가 집결 반응이 지금은 됐고 비슬란테가 지금 메리트까지는 어떻게 정리가 됐기 때문에 조금 더 맞아요. 이게 집결 때문에 이걸 더 버텨버지게 되면 이것도 이거 난전이에요.
And right here they do get their share of kills. Vigilante kills Merit, but they also trade off Diva. Not great. So Talon does get the rally though. And right here, I think Talon are going to win the backline trade. The EMP got Brig Zen, but they were able to pump rally before. So, I mean, they do get one, but... And, like, there is no Kane. Kane's, like... Kane died here, but... Top Diva Bomb, not great. Forces them off point, but doesn't give them any space, to be honest. Right here, though, this isn't the ideal position to have your Brig Zen not on point like this. Ideally, you want to take this long side, so you can, like, actually have sight lines. This Brig Zen's, like, now in a way better position. You can see, and Talon to win this. They kill Finn. This should be an easy win. They shouldn't follow this anyhow. All they have to do is stabilize. And now they have EMP. They can just perfectly just attack this. O2 are just gonna have to do their best trying to clear the angle so that EMP doesn't get as much impact. So what does EMP get over here? That's a Ball Tracer Sombra, sure. But good trans. That was a bit too late, in my opinion. Should have been earlier. And, like, because O2 are able to push up this high, O2 are able to just, like, bully Heesang out. So good from Proper for marking. Hey, where is Heesang as well? Let me see. So, have either Tracer or Sombra here. Getting bullied off the angle. Good. They actually take... It was Tracer or Sombra? Oh yeah, it's Tracer. Tracer's trying to go here. Hey, Brig Zen, where are you? Brig Zen.
집결로 이어져요. 시우 선수가 도착했죠? 자, 집결 올라갔고. 자, 지금 와, 초월. 자, 집었죠. 여기서 드래곤까지 준비. 네, 기상포격 구조와의 앞라인의 볼트가 더 없는 상황이기 때문에 3대1 교환. 이거는 이만큼 결승전이 이래서 결승입니다. 좋거든요, 탈론도. 네, 근데 이거 와요. 먼저 지금 못 걸어. 쪽에서 받아칠 생각하고 있다가 일단 초월까지 도착했기 때문에 이 초월은 근데 집결로 이어지고.
And yeah, so good job from O2 like playing defensively, but Talon should not be giving that much space for O2 to just clutch this. And like time to build rally. Just tempo that. And right there they didn't have like a combo, but still, O2 didn't have any ults as well. And right here, yeah, easy win for O2. They can just like EMP the rotation. Oh, and yeah, this should be it. O2 win this probably. Well, wait, what happened? I don't see Talon. Well, Talon have some rally armor, but no defensive ults. Talon might actually win this. Let me actually see what happened. So, like, they kill. So they get 6v5 with EMP. They pop the rally, which is good. They're using it before the EMP. And, like, Talon are kind of bullying them off the angle, which is good. But this is an incredibly awkward engage. Like, there's no pressure from Ball Tracer because Ball Tracer just got forced out. Like, Ball Tracer needs to play deeper here. And, like, Proper needs to be a good enough angle. They can even wait a bit. They don't have to, like, play this too fast. Like, I was complaining for Talon, like, for playing too fast, like, not attacking the rotation earlier, but if you are committing to a point fight like this, and it's not like O2 had enough time to push up, then you should, like, you know, try to min-max things a bit. But, like, this is just an incredibly awkward engage, and like, the resulting backline trade, especially as O2 have already used, like, a lot of their resources, the trade is just gonna, like, fall in favor of Talon, who are just going to eat the space, like, in behind because O2 aren't using their positions so much. So they just take it. Like, remember what I said on the very first round, like, given, like, Talon's dog shit engages, what Proper should have done was probably just taking the space that, like, they aren't controlling with their Ball Tracer, and they just use it to punish, but this is what exactly Talon are doing right now, so good job. Anyways, that was a kind of a thriller. Gonna have to take a break, but yeah.